29, question 29. Here we go. Here we go. Hello, Mike Grabham here again. We are talking about question 29. That's the last question of the top 29 questions that are asked by founders that keep them up at night. So here's my take on question 29. Before you launch your product, how can you ensure success? Well, there's lots of ways you can protect against success. You probably can't ensure yourself 100%, but here are some things. I think there's 4, maybe 5 things that I would highly recommend doing that will give you a really good chance of being successful. Do all these things before you launch your product. The first, if you've heard any of my videos, you've heard me talk about KYC ABC. Well, what's that stand for? KYC is know your customer better than anyone else, and ABC is always be communicating. So that is the most important thing that founders need to understand when they're launching a product or service. Know your customer and always be communicating. So really understand what the problem is that you are providing the solution for to your customer. Understand that in the deepest of ways. And then always be communicating with them. Create this engagement, this back and forth, not just one-way communication, but it should be back and forth. So you need to be doing that on a constant basis. So that's what I would say is priority number 1. Priority number 2 is get users using the product as early as you can. And it doesn't have to be a lot, but get people that you know and trust that will give you good feedback to use your product as soon as possible, because you need that feedback at all levels as soon as you can get it. Third is you should be cultivating the community, and you can do all this before the product exists. Like, you should be cultivating the community, engaging with the community, learning where your community exists online. Where do they hang out? What do they read online? What websites do they visit? All those things. Start to understand as much as you can understand about that. Demographics about the person. All those things you should be understanding as much as you can well before the product ever exists. You can do all that pre-product. So engaging with the community, and the reason why you're engaging, you're doing 2 things. You're learning how to market to them, but you're also hearing what they need to solve the problem that you are solving, right? So that is important. That's super critical. And another is, build the most important thing in the solution you're providing. So don't build like 17 things or 7 things even. Build 2 or 3 things so you can really do a great job on those 1, 2, or 3 things. Don't try to just what they call boil the ocean, which is try to do too much. Just focus on 1 or 2 or maybe 3 things and just do a kick-ass job at it. And you will be amazed at what success you have early on, because you can always iterate from that. If you launch with one simple feature and people love it, you can just start adding things. So it's really important just to hone in on something and really do well. And I think the last thing is, and this is just like a checkbox, if you've talked to at least 100 customers, and I mean sit down with them, hear what their problem is, how they're solving whatever you're solving, how they're currently doing, what are the pain points, all those things. If you've done that 100 times with 100 people that you do not know, and that's the key, you do not know them, they're strangers, they're not your friends, they're not your relatives, just 100 people you don't know. If you've done that, I'm going to guess you have a really good head start on most people. Because I help people start and launch ideas, and all of the time they have not done enough customer research. People before they launch their product or idea, they just haven't done enough customer research. They've talked to some people, but maybe 10 or maybe 15 or maybe even 20, and a lot of them are just their friends or friends of friends. So again, be aware of those things. That will ensure your success by understanding those. And I'm going to say KYC ABC is by far the most important. And then, cultivate the community early on, as early as possible. Always be communicating with them. Find early users. Build just the 1 or 2 things that are most important, and then, of course, interview 100 people. So that's my thing on question 29, the last question of the top 29 questions that keep founders up at night. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.